Okay, I'm with Greg Clark, the Minister for Cities, who is proposing or has proposed referenda in 10 English cities on May the 3rd on whether they should have an elected mayor or not. A lot of the impression created is that cities like Coventry on May the 3rd, to get extra powers from the government, must vote for a mayor. At least they have to demonstrate strong leadership, and you prefer the mayoral model in that regard. Other ministers, Mark Prisk, even Eric Pickles, have praised Coventry City Council and their creation of the LEP. There's been an acceptance within the Conservative Party at Westminster that there's good leadership in Coventry and there's good private sector-led partnership arrangements across the sub-region in Coventry and Warwickshire. Therefore, can we be clear? Coventry people don't have to vote for a mayor to get some extra powers, some of which, by the way, are going to the LEP in any case.
No, the question before the people of Coventry on the 3rd of May is very simple. It's would Coventry be better run as it is now by a leader elected by other councillors, or would it be, and that is the way it's run now, or would it be better run by an elected mayor elected by the voters? That is the question. It's whether the city council will be better run in one way or the other. Now, as you know, and we've talked about this, I have the power to grant additional powers to cities in the future. But that's not the question in this referendum. It's about how the council should be better run.
That's the question within the confines of the polling booth, of course. But there are bigger messages being fired at people every day. And the impression given, and to a degree given again today, is that you must have a mayor to get additional powers. Can you be clear, and I know that's not the case, can you be clear to Coventry people that that's not the case? Some of these powers are already going to LEPs. Some of them are already going to Greater Manchester. Don't want to get too complicated here. It's not the case, is it, that you need a mayor to have some devolution of power and some extra funding pots? I
think it's important to separate the question in the ballot that we're having on the 3rd of May. It's very clear, very simple. It's would the city of Coventry be better run by someone of a mayor elected directly by the electorate, by the voters, or by a leader of a council elected by the councillors? That's how it is. We've given it to the people of Coventry to decide rather than impose that. Now, separately, and it is a separate process, I have the powers now under the Localism Act to devolve powers over transport, powers to vest assets from different public bodies in a single pot. I've got the power to devolve that, and I'm very keen to do so. What I've always said, and the government's been clear about, is that we need to have strong governance. If you're taking powers that are in Whitehall at the moment, the reason that they're there is that there is a network of controls and scrutiny of whether you're going to get value for money for what is there. And so what we've said, and what I've said, in order to persuade ministers and officials in Whitehall to take those powers from them and invest them in other bodies, you need to have stronger governance. My view, the government's view, is that an elected mayor meets that. It's open for people to suggest other ways, but it needs to be a change from the status quo. What is clear is that an elected mayor meets that, but other arrangements we will contemplate. But for the referendum, that's not what the referendum is about. The referendum is about whether Coventry, the city of Coventry, would be better run for all the reasons we've been talking about today, whether it would have more visibility on the national stage, whether it would get to sit round the cabinet table with the Prime Minister, along with the other cities, whether the mandates that the mayor would have would be good for the city, or whether the present system with its other benefits is preferable. That's why we're giving the choice to the people of the city of Coventry.
So you've accepted that, haven't you, that you don't have to vote for a mayor to get devolution. You'll consider other models. You'll consider whether you'll devolve under existing arrangements of the cabinet, of the leader and cabinet system at the local authority.
No, what I said is that it is clear that if you have a mayor, then you are entitled, you pass the test for devolution. Actually, we've set a very high benchmark, and the current models that are in cities, we've been clear and told the cities is not acceptable. They need to change. A mayor would be a change that would be acceptable. We'll consider other suggestions. So that would be for people of Coventry to decide.
At the delegated legislation committees, the ministerial statements were very clear. Devolution of powers is not contingent on mayors. Has that position changed?
No, it's exactly what I said. And you see, we published a document earlier in the year where we say that cities need to demonstrate strong and accountable leadership.
Yep.
Cities with a directly elected mayor meet this requirement.
Hasn't changed since then. Right.
Hasn't changed since then.
And on the second question that wasn't answered, at the moment, Coventry, Birmingham have, for the last 10 years, have been able to petition for a referendum. People in those cities could petition for a referendum on whether they want an elected mayor or not. Where places have elected mayors, communities have equally had the opportunity to petition on whether they want to get rid of their mayor, and indeed that happened in Stoke. What I'm told from your department is that the Localism Act means that if cities vote for a mayor on May the 3rd, primary legislation is needed to overturn that mayoral governance system of having a mayor at the council. Am I right? You're actually removing, if people say yes to a mayor, you're removing local communities' ability at some point in the future to petition on reverting back to a non-mayor system.
Of course not, Les.
Right.
If you think about the choice that we've given to local people, we could have chosen as a government to pass a law that said Coventry has to have a mayor without a referendum. We've given the local people the chance to decide, and that's absolutely right. I'm a localist. I believe that decisions should be taken locally. So if it were the case that a petition from the people of Coventry decided that actually they prefer a different approach, having tried a mayor, the experience is that people don't do that. In London, 12 years on, people of all parties feel that a mayor has been a success. But a localist government, if there was a petition demanding a change to the system, of course would consider that. This is one of our core parts of our philosophy, to give power to local people. What we're not going to do is dictate to people. Of course we'd listen to that.
But any future referendum on a non-mayoral model would require primary legislation. Is that correct?
No, that's not my understanding.
Okay, right. I'm still trying to get the decisive response on that. Many thanks for your time.
Okay, no problem. We'll get together in Coventry, yeah?
Yeah, good idea, yeah.
Right. We'll do a
few minutes. Stand up or whatever.